The Raw and the Cooked by Claude Levi-Strauss was published in 1964. It is a pioneering work in structural anthropology which delves into the intricate world of myths, exploring how they function as systems of thought that reflect underlying cultural structures. The title itself suggests a central theme: the contrast between raw and cooked, a binary opposition that symbolizes broader themes such as nature versus culture and the transformation processes within societies. The book starts by looking at a specific myth from the Bororo people and then broadens its focus to include a variety of myths from different cultures in tropical South America. The main idea is that individual myths cannot be fully understood on their own. Instead, they must be seen as parts of a larger system of myths. To analyze this, it is important to identify the common elements in different myths and see how these myths transform and relate to each other. The key is not in the specific details of each myth, but in the connections and changes between them. Levi-Strauss aims to show that using this structural approach can offer fresh perspectives on the study of mythology and enhance our understanding of how these myths fit into the wider cultural context. Levi-Strauss's approach to understanding myths is rooted in structuralism, a method that emphasizes understanding cultural phenomena by analyzing the underlying structures that govern them. He posits that myths, much like languages, have rules and systems that can be decoded. The meaning of a myth, according to Levi-Strauss, lies not in its individual components, but in the relationships between those components and the differences they highlight. This perspective shifts the focus from the narrative content of myths to their formal structures and the symbolic meanings embedded within them. A central concept in Levi-Strauss's analysis is the idea of binary oppositions, a foundational element of human cognition. He argues that all thought tends to organize itself around pairs of opposites, such as life and death, good and evil, or as prominently discussed in this work, raw and cooked. These binary oppositions are not arbitrary, but are deeply ingrained in the way societies structure their understanding of the world. The raw represents nature, which is untouched, unprocessed, and pure, while cooked symbolizes culture as it involves transformation, domestication, and human intervention. Cooking, therefore, is more than a culinary act. It is a metaphor for the cultural process wherein raw nature is transformed into something culturally meaningful. Levi-Strauss uses the myths of various indigenous South American tribes as case studies to illustrate his theories. He meticulously analyzes these myths, uncovering the consistent structural patterns that emerge across different apparent diversity in mythological content. Levi-Strauss identifies a shared structure, suggesting that myths across cultures serve similar functions and reflect universal aspects of human thought. Myths are not just stories or fables, they are sophisticated symbolic systems that encode and transmit social norms, values, and beliefs. One of the key contributions of the book is the concept of the culinary triangle, which Levi-Strauss introduces to explain the relationship between raw, cooked, and rotten food. This triangle serves as a model for understanding how different cultures perceive and categorize natural and cultural processes. In this schema, cooking represents the cultural act of transforming nature, while raw represents the natural state and rotten indicates a breakdown or reversal of the cultural process. The culinary triangle thus becomes a metaphor for various cultural activities and illustrates how societies differentiate between nature and culture, purity and decay, and order and disorder. Through his exploration of these themes, Levi-Strauss provides a framework for understanding the broader implications of myth. Myths serve to mediate contradictions in human experience, offering narratives that help societies reconcile conflicting elements and maintain social harmony. For instance, a myth might explain the origin of a particular social custom, it to a divine or supernatural event, thus legitimizing the custom and integrating it into the cultural fabric. This mediatory function of myths is crucial as it allows cultures to navigate and negotiate the complexities of human life, including moral dilemmas, existential questions, and social conflicts. While Levi-Strauss's work has been widely influential, it has also faced criticism. Some scholars argue that his structuralist approach, with its focus on universal patterns, overlooks the specific historical and cultural contexts that shape individuals. That by emphasizing structural similarities, Levi-Strauss sometimes neglects the rich diversity of mythological traditions and the unique meanings they hold for different societies. His reliance on binary oppositions has been critiqued for potentially oversimplifying the nuances of human thought and cultural expression. Critics suggest that human cognition and culture are often more complex and multifaceted than can be captured by a binary framework. Despite these critiques, The Raw and the Cooked remains a cornerstone of cultural anthropology and a landmark in the study of mythology. Levi-Strauss's insights into the structural aspects of myths have opened up new ways of understanding cultural phenomena, influencing not only anthropology but also fields such as linguistics, literary theory, and psychology. His work has laid the groundwork for explore the deep structures of human thought and the ways in which cultural systems encode and convey meaning.